the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, Georgie was first this morning. Georgie, it's the same link if you want to join. Jessica's here this morning, as well as Tammy and Nemesis. Good to see you guys. Mismatch Menace is here. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Morning Bay. Oh, that was to Georgie. Okay. It's gonna be like, what? Oh, Native Pride is here. Good morning. Who else we got? That's who's commented so far. So good to see you guys. Good to see you all here. The animals are tearing apart my bed. It's a good morning. Oh, too funny. How are things going? There's Melissa. Good morning, Melissa. Good to see you. I might be up in Washington very here shortly. A friend of mine and his wife are going up there, and they invited me to come up. And I might be up there because it's a short flight and it's a cheap flight. Oh, there's TC. Call me Jessica, please. Only my daddy could call me Jess. Sorry about that. Sweet Yankee belt. It's funny because normally you tell me, "Oh no, don't do this." It's like, "Oh no, I'll do that just to annoy you now." Like my brother's ex-girlfriend, she used to get mad if you wrote her name as Jen with two N's. I used to do it purposefully. I knew it was Jen with one N. First day of work. First day of work today. Is this a big girl job? There's this account. Oh, my cat's getting into my closet. Georgie, how'd you lose the number one spot? Uh, by being Georgie. Uh, it's funny. Georgie is Georgie is always instigating me and trying to get me to do stuff. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And she's like, no, you need to do that. Oh, this this cruise. So the cruise is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of people in person, so that'll be good. I'm really looking forward to hanging out with the Grangers. Um, it's kind of funny this whole thing with the Otter Creek and whatnot. Uh, I'm pretty thankful for it because it introduced me to Brett, and me and Brett we've had some conversations on the phone, and we're both military guys, and I can tell a lot of things. Like we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, and so I think we appreciate each other's um, perspective, much like how I did with TC. Uh, hey, there's Kahana. I got followed by a deputy last night. Same guy that I busted speeding. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you get pulled over, you have to go live, like immediate go live. But yeah, so it's funny because like me and Brett, we'll talk on the phone. We've talked for a long time on the phone before. We're like schoolgirls. No, it's just we're two military guys, and we'll just talk about stuff. Uh, so it'll be interesting when we go on the cruise, um, because like I could see like just a couple of us just sitting down at some point, and just having a really in depth conversation. Um, because we'll talk about our channels and stuff like that, and things that work for me, things that work for him, and places we've gone, things we've done. Oh, you went live? Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I'm gonna check it out. That's one thing. Like a lot of these cops, that's how you know a lot of them want the they want the drama. When there's a First Amendment auditor or someone who does live broadcasts, like Sean Paul Reyes, like he'll do stuff, and when he goes live, and then people like not just cops, but people of authority will then come right up to the camera. Amagansett Suppress does a good thing about that. Like when people come to him, he'll be like, well, they'll say something to him. He'll be like, well, why would you come up to a cameraman to say that? Like if you don't want to be on if you don't want to be on camera, why would you come up to a cameraman? Because of course I'm gonna naturally just turn the camera to you. It just shows you those people, they just want a confrontation. Georgie, my little shit star. Uh I did notice she just bought a Veteran Nation sweatshirt. And thank you for that, Georgie. The and I did try to make those sweatshirts reasonably priced, and that was my goal. A lot of the merch is not about me making money. It's about one. It's about you guys being able to get something, and I don't. I could make more money. I could probably make it for $10, but I'm going to sell less. Uh, and I would much rather a lot of people have our merch and me make $1 or 2 on it. So, but she did get. I noticed she got the most popular uh, tee or sweatshirt color. She got it's an olive green, which is a very military color. Followed me for miles, then abandoned it. I wasn't violating any traffic codes. Oh, he was just trying to make you sweat. uh, Some of these people. I'm gonna get kicked off Facebook. Guaranteed. I gotta look. For some reason, when I post on the Veteran Nation Instagram, it posts to my personal Facebook. I would much rather it post to the Veteran Nation Foundation Facebook. So I gotta look at like linking accounts and unlinking accounts. I'm looking. Wow, some people just post booby pics and stuff. And it's like on Facebook. It's like, what are you doing? And so I'm just looking at a woman she's a local like musician. It's like we don't need that. uh, you're 90 feet above sea level. Oh, thank you, AVA. Yeah, everyone like I had a couple people message me about the tsunami warning. They're like, "Is it going to bother you?" I'm like, "You do realize I think I'm at 3,500 feet. Like that tsunami is taking out all of Los Angeles before it gets to me." Yeah, I don't care if my personal account on Facebook gets taken down. I don't. Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone go sub to Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. Um, in fact, I'll make a post about that in the group. I'll pull up your channel. There you are. You should be seeing a bump because as I'm looking here, uh, Detective Matt Thornton pushed out your guys' talk, and he's got a lot of followers. So you should be seeing something. There we go. Boom. And paste. There we go. There we go. Got you a Facebook post about it. Very long ways inland. Very long ways. I need subs too. I'm a few away from 1,000. Yeah, everyone should go sub to AVA. We got to get AVA doing more live stuff so he can get his watch time. Boop. Right? TC says, I never thought I'd hit 1,000, let alone come close to getting 5,000. 5,000 is the goal. When you're a small content creator, 5,000 is your goal because once you hit 5,000, it gets out there. It gets out there. And I had other podcasters when I first started this, when it was me and Michael Bloomling, they were like, "Hey, that should be your goal, 5,000. You hit 5,000, you're golden." Like from there, it's all you. You can't complain that it's the algorithm or whatnot. It's all you. And that I'm good with that. I would much rather live and die by my own devices. Um, you know, I don't I don't need the platform to help me. I would much rather do it on my own. And that's why I always said I would do this show as even if there's one person watching, I'm going to try to do my best show. I broke 5K and loving it. There you go. Miss Match Menace. Show Sunday? Yes. Yes, I can do a show this Sunday. Um I'll have to look, see, because there's a couple potential guests that we had that I know a couple of them are not available yet. Um, but we'll go through and see who can. Do you think Matt Thornton would come on? And if it's too close to your show, the one you guys did, I'm okay with. We can try to get him on later. I'm doing good, Magic. How are you this morning? Hey, Laura. Welcome, welcome. If there's anyone I missed that's here that I haven't welcomed, Vet Firefighter didn't welcome you, and Magic, I didn't welcome you. Welcome the two of you. I like welcoming everyone. Um, I feel like we haven't done a business in a while. I kind of feel like we should have someone on who's doing a business that we should promote. I am so jealous. So a buddy of mine, he was my roommate in college, and he got married to his college girlfriend. And I kind of knew her because she grew up in my town, and he grew up in Michigan. But they met in college. I was actually there the night they met, and like hit it off, start dating right away, right? And she still looks like she's in her 20s. I am so jealous of her. Like she looks good, and I'm very happy for them. They've got two very pretty girls who are now both graduating and going into college now. But yeah, uh, his wife still looks like she's like 20. He doesn't. And if I ever talk to him, like if we get into a conversation again, I'll make sure I'll be like, "Yeah, she looks like she's in her 20s. You look like you're 50." Yeah, I'd love to have Matt on. If you think it it's a good time for it. I'm not happy camper this morning. My friend's Doberman killed all my chickens this morning. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks. Um, I'm trying to think what else is going. Oh, my mom sent me a thing. It was it was because I did that Bucky's video. My family thought it was hilarious that I went to Bucky's, and I just kept messing with my family on the drive. We drove from Hilton Head back to Ohio, and I kept joking, "Well, hey, we're cutting some time off the trip. Let's stop at Bucky's." Uh, yeah, it was a picture of Bucky's and said, "When a quick potty break costs you $157." And I can see why that would happen. Uh, I also I've got some video because we were driving through North Carolina, and wow, everybody in North Carolina moved over into the fast lane and just didn't go fast. Like they weren't passing. Um, and some of them didn't even have cruise control on, so they'd speed up and slow down, speed up and slow down, right? And it was just incredibly frustrating because it was actually making traffic worse. They weren't giving each other space; they were riding each other's ass. And we were talking about like, is there like a way we can get off the highway and take a shortcut? And I started doing the South Park, which South Park has this character. It's a spoof of Fred Gwynn's character in Pet Cemetery. And it's they always go to this guy for directions, and he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't go down that road. That road is cursed." And it's like I'll show it, and it looks like this evil road, and he's like, "Down that road, there's a bridge. It's built out of the the bones of 600 Chinese laborers. Uh-huh. Yep, lots of history down that road. Down that road is also the Henderson place. He killed 41 people and buried them in his basement." So I was doing that with that, and At one point, my brother was laughing, belly laughing so hard at me. He's like, "You need to stop. I can't breathe and I can't see, and I'm trying to drive." She's gonna be your garden gremlin gnome. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, whenever he can do it, we can always record too. We don't have to do the show live. We can always record stuff. When it's an interview where, I wanna, talk with them and get in depth, I actually prefer doing a recorded one because I don't get I've got my squirrel moments and I get distracted. Oh, did you like the plane joke? I told that joke before I filmed it. I told that joke to my son, and he looked at me like I was a complete and total idiot. And I was like, "Oh, now I'm definitely doing it." So those of you who didn't see the short, I was standing at the Las Vegas airport, and we're at the D concourse. And we're standing at D6, and I'm filming. I'm like, "There's D8 and D11," and then I turn it to show the plane, and I go, "D plane." So dumb. D plane, boss. D plane. Fantasy Island for the kids. Fantasy Island used to be the show. D-plane, boss, D-plane. Hervé Villechaize, who, it's been a while since I've talked about Hervé Villechaize, how he died. I believe it was suicide. Here, I'll put this up so we can all read about this. So this was Hervé Villechaize. There we go. We're going to be dorky on the cruise. So yeah, he was in the James Bond film Man with the Golden Gun, Fantasy Island. He became famous of a shout of "D-plane," which became one of the show's signature phrases. He died by suicide in 1993. Yeah, he was 3 foot 11 inches. And apparently the guy drank something fierce. Though popular with the public, Villechaize proved a difficult actor on the Fantasy Island, where he continually propositioned women and quarreled with the producers. He eventually was fired after demanding a salary on par with his co-star Ricardo Montalban. For the final season, 83 to 84, he was replaced by Christopher Hewitt, best known for his lead role in the sitcom Mr. Belvedere. He later played the role of Rumpelstiltskin. He was kind of like, what's his name? The Game of Thrones dude. Like, he got that level of popular as a little person. I don't know why they don't want to be called midgets and prefer to be called little person. Oh, you're just a little person. Like, to me, that seems worse. He was in Negotiations, the co-star in Space Ghost Coast to Coast. They made Space Ghost Coast to Coast in 93. I guess that makes sense. I liked that show. Hold on here, but there is one. There is something I want to play. Because, damn it. There is, oh yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this.
So I went up there and I went, the plane. Then they told me, come down, you're gonna get beat by the Black Widow. So a couple of years after, we did it again.
Yeah.
Do people have to fight? Why don't they learn to do what what's right. Why do they hurt each other so?
This was karaoke before it was karaoke.
Why don't they know what children know?
I always find it funny when you have some people not from the US who speak another language, and when they sing, they don't have an accent. And then there are those who have an accent when they sing. I believe he actually put out an album. It's too bad he died. We could have had Hervé Villachez and William Shatner putting out an album together. That would have been so bad. So just a bit taller than Georgie. 311. Oh my god. Do we get a B&B with or without a pool? I don't think we need a pool. It's one day. Hey, Boss's Life and Lilu. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, he was good in James Bond. That's the thing. When he was good, he was good. But he thought he was one. So many of these actors think of themselves as like, you know, musicians. And it's like, yeah, no. Peter Dinklage, yeah. Yeah, Peter Dinklage, who ruined movies that he wasn't even in. Uh, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory sucked. I did not like the remake at all. But and welcome, Greg. Welcome. Uh, really, the economy expanded 3%. How about that? So, okay, and I've had some debates about this online. People when they announced that the what was it that they were like, oh, the inflation, it grew from, I think it went from 2.5% to 2.7. I was like, they were they were like, oh, look, Trump's causing inflation because of his tariffs. I was like, that's not a bad thing. Like any inflation below 3% is good because you want your economy to grow at about 3%. 3% is inflation, 3% growth, very sustainable, very modest, but it's where people are comfortable. Anything below that, yeah, it's good that it expanded, but that's normally a sign of unease, like normally coming in or out of a recession. But that the U.S. economy is growing at 3%, that means in the last quarter we outpaced inflation. That's a great thing. That means we made more money and our money didn't become less worth. Um, so that's a good thing. Um, Now imagine how much the economy would have grown had they lowered interest rates. And why they're keeping interest rates so high, I don't know. I don't have a clue. If you got a baby with a pool, Georgie, she would drown. She can't swim, or would have carried around like a little princess. So that's a side thing. I'm not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're talking about the pool at the Airbnb. And the thing about that growth, that was with the tariffs, which shows you tariffs don't really, like, they can affect growth if they get crazy. If it's the tipping point. If they go way to one side, they can affect the economy. But they are not people who were like, these tariffs are going to ruin the economy. They're not the be all end all. Like, we should have tariffs. We absolutely should have tariffs. And it's leverage. And we should use them as leverage. The cop that got arrested by ICE? No, I did not hear about that one. That's funny. Because that's the thing. People are like, ICE can't do that. ICE actually has more powers than your normal law enforcement. The Supreme Court has ruled that ICE can detain people within 100 miles of the U.S. border simply for being 100 miles away from the U.S. border. Supreme Court has ruled that. Whether it's right or not, that's a debate for elsewhere. However, I've seen people be like, where they've talked about ICE detainment saying that's illegal, they can't do that. I'm like, no, they actually can. And and they don't need much more than a Terry stop to initiate the detainment, and then they can say, well, from there I thought he was illegal and we're within 100 miles of the border, so I can keep it going longer. Justice for Georgie and her height. I don't think there's going to be a tsunami. I think if there was, we would have seen it already. Oh yeah, the Aquarids meteor shower going. That's cool. Yeah, Skipper got a lot of sun. They found illegal employed in Maine, and they had to issue him a gun. Or they had issued him a gun. Oh wow. And that's why I'm in favor of the real IDs, because they insisted on giving illegal immigrants insisted on giving them driver's licenses. These guys were swimming and a dolphin swam in between them, and they thought it was a shark and ran to the shore. First off, if it is a shark, don't run. Don't make a big, like, sharks get attracted by the water being all stirred up. Like, people are like, oh, you gotta get out of the water, the sharks. Not really. Are they doing anything? And if you're gonna do it, just calmly walk out of the water. Oh, you're gonna watch it with your night vision? I need to get night vision. Oh, I need night vision. Maybe I should put that on Amazon wish list. Some fan wants to spend $1,000 on Skipper and get him night vision. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, oh yeah, you guys did see about the guy from the Browns helmet reveal that fell in the water. That was funny. Hey, Big Dirt, good to see you. Oh shit. There was a stampede at Beyonce's concert. Wow. The digital MVGs are cheap. I may have to get some of those. We'll have to talk offline. He got arrested for trying to buy a gun. Now he's being deported. Well, I don't think illegal immigrants should be allowed to buy a gun. Like, I've got no problem with immigrants. Do everything legally. Believe it or not, it is not hard to immigrate to this country. Not hard at all. But the people who, came illegally, not only did they come here illegally and just ignored everything, they also want to, they want amnesty. They want to jump at the head of the line. And nope, I don't agree. Who thinks I should prank the bestie with the dissolvable swim trunks on the cruise? If you gave me any swim trunks, I would not wear them. I would immediately assume they're banana hammocks. Like, I'd be like, "Oh, Georgie's giving me swim trunks? Yeah, she's trying to make a fool of me." What is this? A guy had a grenade launcher? If veterans can't buy guns, why the F should we sell to illegals? I agree. Well, Nancy, there are people who are going to say the Second Amendment, the Second Amendment allows, because it says a right of the people. And they're going to say that gives illegals the right to buy guns as well. That's why Trump is going forward with his lawsuit about birthright citizenship, because the 14th Amendment says that anyone born or naturalized in the U.S., and then it says comma, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, is a citizen. And that's being sued. Well, what the Supreme Court is going to have to decide is, what does the phrase "and subject to the jurisdiction thereof" meaning? Like, Trump's stance is, because they're here illegally, they're not subject to the jurisdiction. They haven't they haven't done the process. They're outside of the law. So what he's arguing is that people who've come here illegally just to have a child, that child should not get citizenship because they were not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So that's going to come into play on gun cases with illegals as well. Yep, the illegal cop was in Maine, issued a gun. When he tried to buy one personally, it set off alarms with the Fed. And here's my thing: why didn't he just get residency? Yeah, if you come here illegally, you have, as far as I'm concerned, you have the rights to all of our rights. Illegally, sorry, no, straight deportation. Um, and a deportation hearing is due process. A lot of people keep saying, "Well, they didn't get due process." No, they did. They didn't get a trial by jury, but no, like, you don't really have that. There's a different set of due process. They did get a trial. They went in front of a deportation judge. They got the right to bring witnesses. They got the right to present evidence. They have a right to attorney. That's due process. It wasn't a trial, but it's a deportation hearing, and that does count as due process. Illegal gets hired to be a cop, then automatically elevates him to hero status, according to MAGA. Now MAGA has to support deporting a hero, and why did heroes hire him? I don't. No, no, that doesn't make him a hero. Him just being a cop. And yeah, he should be deported. He's here illegal. Sorry, you didn't do things the right way. He should have got legal residency. And there were many. He could have. You know how easy it was to get legal residency during the Biden administration? 4 years. 4 years. And I guarantee you, he's probably been here since like Obama or pre-Obama. And Obama was 8 years where it was easy to get residency. Exactly, Georgie. How did an illegal get hired? Well, that they did not do a thorough background check. They just did a quick little search. Nothing came up. Okay. People are crazy. Once these deportations are done, we will be forced to fix our immigration system. We need the labor. Agreed. And I have no problem with immigrants who want to come here on visas for work at uh, agricultural, you know, like, no problem with that whatsoever. And if they came here and had a child, I would have no problem with that child being a citizen, because again, they came here under a legal status. If you were to move to Mexico, you can never get certain jobs because you aren't Mexican. That's true in a lot of countries. You can't even own property. You can't start a business because you're not a citizen of that country. Like we are very, very, forgiving with that. I am looking at the time. I do have to get going. Guess I'll have to change my name to Georgie to get a hi. Oh, I didn't see you, Coop. I didn't realize if I mentioned your thing. I didn't realize it was you. I apologize. And there's Mama Coop. I get into my discussions and like I when I'm reading like TC or like Nancy when we're talking about something, I'm not looking at the other comments. People are looking at abandoned stuff. Well, I need to get going. I gotta start on with my day. You all, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your comments. Please give this a like, share, all that good stuff. If you're watching on replay, give a comment. 99% of MAGA calls all cops heroes. No. I'd say there is a big percentage. I'd say probably about 75%, but those are normally the older people. The younger people who are MAGA are much more skeptical. Yeah, like the Fox News crowd of MAGA. That's what I would say. But all right, folks, I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for being here, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.
Coffee brewing as the sun peeks through the haze. Birds are chirping, serenading morning's praise. Front porch creaks as dreams fade away. America's awakened to a brand new day. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakening at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, want just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Old vinyl spinning a sweet old tune. Day starts dancing under a sleepy moon. Newsprint smudges on fingers of grace. America's awakened at her own steady pace. Sips of sunshine in a coffee cup. Simple moments lifting spirits up. From the mountains to the sandy shore. Morning in America, wanting just a little more. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Neighbors waving with a friendly rise. Kids with backpacks chasing daylight skies. Eyes cooling on a windowsill so fine. America's awakened with a heart full of shine. Tractors rumble, fields coming alive. Big wheels turning where hopes and dreams strive. Laughter echoes down the old dirt road. America's awakened to lighten her load. America's awakened to lighten her load.